Hey everyone, welcome back to more Star Dynasties. I'm DisturbingPuppet. We're continuing here with the Scrooge sovereignty. So as you can see, we've now expanded quite a bit. If we could just absorb the Lindsays and the Lynns, and then maybe the Clark clan, who are actually multiple different factions up there, whereas these two are, well, Lynns do have a subsidiary with just one, but the Lindsays are independent. If we could do that, I think we'd be in really good shape. To finish the game, we either have to control, I think it's 66%, something like that, of the available territories. We do have a couple abandoned colonies we can rebuild inside our territory now, or inside our league territory. And then as far as other options go, we do have the start of a issue for there's a technology victory which I've never actually done. I think it's Arcab. Yeah, so over here in Arcab, we found the first part of it, which is a terraforming ship. Now, I don't know if it's because we don't directly control Arcab or if we just have to wait for more events to happen, but there's nothing I can do at the moment. So there's nothing I can build here that's going to do anything about that. So we don't have any way to do anything with this except we can tear it apart. But if we tear it apart, I think that ends the quest line because that was kind of an option when it first popped up. So I'm hoping that we're going to have things that event-wise will progress this and we can do something because it is in league territory. But it could be a problem because we don't directly supervise Arcab. It's under the Arlanos who are in our league, and we can build stuff there, but that's about it. All right, so we are building stuff all over the place. I do have the option to travel to Arcturus, to the Necropolis, and we might as well because it just gives me some fame and stuff. I am sick at the moment, but I am being treated, so we should be fine to do that. So let's go ahead and take care of that. We'll visit the Necropolis for one, hold the memorial. It does get me a little bit of fame, which helps us get bloodline points. You hold your court and ambassadors for the memorial. So same thing we've seen before. There was an old house there that's wiped out, and there's some remnants of them. So we do that to just gain a little bit of fame. As far as bloodlines go, so we are maxed out on the merchants and administrators. So we do have the best thing here is the intergalactic markets popping up, which gives extra wealth to things up to 6 star lanes away, so everything just making more money. And then I did pick up some extra military power for us as well. We're about halfway to getting another point. I'm not sure what we're going to do next. It gets harder and harder as we progress forward to do that, but we'll kind of live with it. All right, so I think that's about it, honestly. Yeah, so we have 3 different systems we can rebuild that are all within our league at this point, or super close to our league, since we've now picked up the Jordan colonies. Jordan colonies looking a bit rough. We're doing a lot of rebuilding, so we're building stuff in Desheba and Yildiz and a bunch of other places too, aren't we? Beta Virginis, 94 Aquiari, Yildiz, Desheba, and yeah, that's it for structures. And then we're building up a fleet into Crux. So yeah, doing quite well. We've got a number of various different bonuses over here. We're bean counters. We have a historic act of cruelty, so we're not liked all that well. We've studied laser rifles. That's about to go away. Science Arc servers, it's lasting a bit longer. Art of War, 15 more turns for that. Cloaked Ship, just a security bonus. And then the Ancient Pyramid readings, we've got 11 more turns for that. So we have a number of bonuses that are going to time out tied to events and things. Let's go ahead and just run it and see what happens. At this point, lots of crazy things can happen. Stuff can break down, problems. Your daughter-in-law is in love with her husband. That is our heir, Frederick, who is not great. I honestly wouldn't mind if he drops dead and we have our second child take over as the potential heir. Just for a leader, you want someone who's got high stats across the board, generally, who's a fairly high, and our other person, Charles, our other son, is much better. All right, they love each other. That's positive. We did get him married. Waste processing plant in Parima has been repaired, so that makes the local people happy. Chemical processing plant in 94 Aquiari has been repaired. Colton has returned home. Waste processing plant in Yildiz has been repaired. So we're just kind of making everybody happy doing all that kind of stuff. Sending people out to build stuff. Grain silo in Beta Virginis has been repaired. Explosion rips through the spaceport in Parima. So that's Barry looking pretty old at this point. Just do some damage, probably lose some ships. Okay. So, interesting. Lucas Carey, so this is the Clark clan, has now broken away to make the Carey systems. Because Dallas Clark's marriage was annulled. Alright. We don't have a direct contact there, something we can really do about that. Baron Hosea Arellano has broken allegiance with the Clark clan and pledged Theta Ursa Majoris to the Carey systems, so things are falling apart. There's some Arellanos up there, apparently. Failed to avenge Lindsay's crime, annexation of the Villa Guild. We did do something, but it wasn't much. Or is this the one? No, we just totally ignored this, I think. Which, not a huge problem. He still likes us. Just likes us a bit less now. Baron Snyder is given submission to Archon Callista Snyder in return for $200. There's a lot of Snyders up here. We have Snyders under us over here in the Snyder Dominion, but there's a bunch of Snyder family stuff going on out this way. Willis Territories, Drake Collective, Raymond. What is this overall? Can't see. Remnants of the Carey systems fragment into independent systems. That's weird. The war between the Carey systems and the Clark clan has ended. That's also strange, because they just declared independence. What? Like, in one turn, like, it hasn't been enough time for anything to happen. Arellano Coalition is now here. The Murrays. Weird. Maybe they offered them money or something? I don't know what's going on up there. Strange things. Okay. Ursula Clark has abdicated her rule of the Clark clan. Baron Arellano has surrendered his faction to Desdemona Blackwell. There's also a lot of Blackwells up here. So the Blackwells are now in charge of the old Clark clan, it looks like. Archon Desdemona Blackwell charged you with avenging your brother-in-law's crime, the annulment of Lady Desdemona Blackwell's marriage. Yeah, that's kind of a problem. I mean, it's a minor issue. We could just levy a fine. It's fine. He's not going to like it, but he'll pay it. He's not going to make it, so he's going to rebel against us for not doing it. Your mother is dead. Well, that's a bit of a problem. So she was in charge of our administration. She's an excellent administrator, excellent at building stuff. I knew at this point she was going to die probably any moment because she was in her 60s. In this game, really, even in your 50s, you're kind of at risk of dropping dead any moment. Not sure what kind of person we're going to have to take over. Duchess Joyce wants marriage between Marley and heiress Kylie Joyce. Isn't Marley... Yeah, Marley's not even in my faction, I think, because he's part of House Farmer of Yilden, but I'm a close relative, so I get to kind of get say on who he marries, apparently. I really don't have a problem with that, because they're not even really directly related to the family, and I can't give Marley orders anyway, because he's not in our family. He's part of the local family in Yilden now. Yeah, sure, whatever, it's fine. I'm fine with that. Baron Kenny Jackson wants marriage between Baroness Casey McIntyre and Baron Kenny Jackson. So Casey is my first cousin, who I am using as a diplomat, I think, at this point, and the Baron. Will be married but will remain living separately in House McCann and House Jackson, respectively. Isn't she part of my... She's in House McCann of Desheba. But she's under me, I think? Don't I have her? I swear I've given her orders and sent her places. It doesn't seem like it's changing anything. So, I mean, I'm kind of fine with that. Yeah, the married couple continue to manage their houses separately. Actually, she's in charge of Desheba. Okay, so it's... Yeah, I'm confused, because aren't you married to somebody already? I don't know. Alright, Duchess Rowdy Burnett wants Desheba. What will you ask in return? I do not want to give you Desheba. I'm directly overseeing Desheba at this point. You are sort of independent by yourself. I don't know how long that's going to last. Um, you love me, so yeah, I'm just gonna say no. I'm personally administering Desheba and trying to rebuild stuff there, so no. Grazia Scrooge and Timothy Scrooge have had a baby girl. Italia is interesting. Let's pull up something that's sort of female, but also sort of Dickens inspired. The Artful Dodger. Health fully recovered. Excellent. Yes, we're not going to keep medically treating me. Visitors. Arvid Dixon. Looks like a diplomat. That's fine. It's a pity you have no more of that admiration powder. What? Right now, you would love to view the universe with awe rather than exhaustion. I don't remember having admiration powder. Probably an event from a while back. Other revels will take it off my mind. Subset of the members of House Scrooge, which are any of the following: dull, reserved, honorable, and not greedy, are somewhat unhappy, blaming her. We're somewhat pleased. No, I'll deal with the universe as it comes. Makes me somewhat unhappy. This makes me somewhat pleased. I guess we'll revel a little bit. Archon Consort Thad Scrooge has been seen mentoring a local officer. An extra pair of hands never hurt anyone, especially when you don't have to pay for them. Now have a special trait, so have a mentor, or as a mentor, so just increased effectiveness. He's mainly a diplomat, that's fine. Okay, so we're over a vassal limit because I currently don't have anybody assigned to administration. We definitely need to do that. Too many direct vassals, that'll change once we do that. Seen as a bit of a problem. Yeah, we don't have anyone in administration. So, who is my best administrator in the entire empire? Not great. Appears to be Colton at 41. First cousin. That is a big step down from 99. Does seem like that is my best choice, though. Alright. We'll appoint him. Assign Baron Heir Colton Scrooge to the Council as head of administration for House Scrooge. So that gets us, yeah, right where we need to be for vassals. That's fine. That's a big loss, though, to our administrative abilities, which you'd think we'd be quite good at. We have all these traits related to being super administrators, and my Archon is a super administrator with a 99 stat, which is your max. I'm pretty sure it can't go above 99. Definitely seems like it. Just too bad we don't have anybody else who's also excellent that we can put in there. All right, we've got people free. We could definitely do some building. We've got resources. We could even rebuild a colony, but I think we want to keep building up what we've got because we've got some places that are actually pretty trashed. I might also take a look at where we're quelling unrest because there might be some spots where it doesn't really make sense to do that anymore. So just out of curiosity, let me take a look at that. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to like jump to like where. Okay, Beta Tara is up there. It's 32 up there at the moment. We could probably stop, but we could let it run. That's not a huge deal. Rigel is where? I keep trying to move the map with my like holding the mouse down and moving it because so many other games I've been playing lately do that. Rigel, where's Rigel? I don't see it anywhere. It's got to be somewhere. Rigel. I feel like we were doing a bunch down over here. Yeah, it is down here. Yeah, Rigel's bad. It's still going up even with us trying to quell, which is pretty crazy. Partially because nobody likes the Duke. Living space is a bit of an issue. Yeah, there's gonna be a revolt there no matter what we do. So we just stick that out. New Ophiuchi, also things are kind of bad, 67, so that's fine. Mirzam. Well, that's Missam, not Mirzam. Where's Mirzam? It's not out this way, is it? We've got a couple out there. Mirzam up here is... Wow, that's really bad. Why is it so bad up here? Jeez. It is going down, but man, that is rough. Okay. Definitely don't mess with that. And then Beta Virginis and Hege are both over here, and the Blackwell's 32, 63. We could definitely leave the 63. Yeah, I don't like everything's at least 30, so I'm kind of fine with that. We might. Yeah, we don't need to work on her because she stepped down, so there's no reason to improve relations with her. The new leader is who we want to improve relations with. So all kinds of things happen over here. Lowered taxes, publicly humiliated someone, executed someone. Yeah, the Blackwells are now in charge of the Clark clan. Weird. I don't know what happened. So Blackwell's conquered this area. So yeah, it's weird. It's only like the one turn went by, but then like everything just sort of like they broke away and then were immediately conquered. I don't understand how that happened. Maybe that's why they're in charge. Something weird happened. You think like at least another turn would have had to pass for that to happen. But we can improve relations up here with you. You generally like us. We're unrelated, although you are a Blackwell. So we'll improve relations. Somebody who's not doing anything at the moment. Yeah, Timothy, go ahead and improve our relations up there. So we are working on a bunch of different archons around us just to improve relations across the board. We have quite a few people still available to do stuff. I think we were doing a bunch of building, and then we were doing medical treatment for me. So the medical treatment for me, we can switch over to training, either me or our heir. I am 48. Once we get to 50, I don't think we want to do much training on ourselves. So right now we are training in technology for me and diplomacy for my heir Frederick. So we probably want to do more for Frederick at this point. I feel like my stats are okay. Frederick we definitely need to improve. So he should be passively getting an increase in military because he's the head of the military at the moment, and he's happy about it. He is sickly, which is unfortunate, and he's also got a rivalry. I think it's with Chill. Yeah, Chill causing problems still. So let's train you a bit. As far as stats go, you're currently being trained in diplomacy, which you definitely need. Administration or technology, probably. Where? Train. Let's train you. I feel like your administration is awfully low for a Scrooge, but your technology is pretty awful. So let's do that. And I actually have a couple people I could have do that. You're a decent administrator, though, as well. My sister will take over that. So we could do more training. We could do building. So everyone who's left is probably mainly a builder, because we just built 3 things, or at least okay at building. I do have things I can build into Crux still. Speaking of which, how's my fleet looking? We're up to 289 of 315, not bad. The colony itself. So this is our capital. I can still build the Interstellar Authority Outpost, which is, it's mediocre. Electronics Factory does get me some wealth coming in. We've got so much cash, I might want to just do that. Just to finish everything off up here. So, Colton, let's go ahead and build that. I do know we've got some other systems that are in rough shape, like Desheba. Literally has almost nothing built over here. What we might want to do... Oh, we're definitely going to build something. Get the chemical warehouse up and running. It'll take a while for her to do it, but we're going to do it. And then who's left? Katya. She's a mediocre administrator. She can build something, it'll just take a while. Yeah, Disheba is really bad looking. But I feel like things down here are not great either. I can only do so much, though. So they're repairing the ore mine down there. Good to see. Wazin, we've built a decent amount of stuff. The messenger drone hangar, that might help me. The vassal, yeah, it should help me because we're within 4. So that's actually quite good, another vassal limit. Let's do that, even though it is going to take quite a while. Well, 3 turns, that's not bad. Yeah, anything I can do to build that's going to help us run our league, definitely we need. I currently do have someone dedicated to improving our vassal limits. We are kind of maxed out. I might have to hand off some stuff to other people if things get bad. Like she wanted Disheba, but I'd at least like to build up Disheba a bit before I do anything crazy. We could also consolidate, like, I mean, they wouldn't be happy, but trying to give another sector over to like the Tanners, something like that. Is a possibility. We also had this fracture going on with the Burnetts broke off from the Jordan colonies. Like if we could say like, hey, you just come into us, it's the same, but if you join them, but she broke away from them, it would be fine. Maybe even joining the Arlanos. The Galloways not doing much. They gave away a bunch of their territory. I don't know what they were thinking, but the AI does weird stuff sometimes. That's about it for actions. Nothing else I can really do. We've only got 1 left. 3 turns to our next event, so unfortunately that's about it. It's giving me a warning here that we're weak and seen, but that's fine. I don't think we're liable to be attacked. Taxes lowered over here in the Lindsays. I can't really do anything else because we had so much stuff we had to do. Alright, there's a combat in Mirzam. Leslie Spence. So you are rebelling against the Duchess. Why would I help you? Absolutely not. Yes, I will warn her that there's a rebellion coming. So he's rebelling against his sister-in-law. Crazy. So she wants assistance. Yeah, I'm fine with that. We'll help out. I don't need to ask for anything. Chill. Why don't you go off and do that? Maybe you die. That's fine. That's highly unlikely. Yes, rebellion failed. Barracks were destroyed. That's crappy. Or abandoned. Damaged enough to be abandoned. Chill Scrooge salvaged what he could from the wreckage and carried out field repairs to the ships of House Scrooge. 40% from combat tactics used. Our house military sustained some damage in battle, but we were able to recover quite a few. I didn't think they'd put up that much of a fight. Alright. Baron Jordan wants support in the combat at Rigel. So it's another rebellion. Fine. We don't have access, but that's fine. Okay, crushed. Rebellion failed. The local baron here demanded some money to help out. That's kind of scummy. So Rasmussen, Duchess Sorcha wants marriage between Mistress Bella Scrooge and Duke Heir Rolf Rasmussen. And I will lose her to House Rasmussen. I don't think that's worth it for me. Yeah, I'd rather have Bella around, I think. She's a decent administrator. I'd rather marry someone into the family. So, no. Okay, well, this might resolve the problem. The Jordan colonies are attacking the Burnett's. I think they broke away. They rebelled against them, so we'll see what happens. He lost, so he went in to take them out and lost. Neither side asked for my help, which I'm actually kind of happy about because it causes problems for me if they do. Beta Virginis is going to continue to be separate. Archon Snyder wants control of the Snyder Dominion. Absolutely not. No. We might need to do something about that. We might need to improve relations with her. Nope, Verley Scrooge has died, so that was our head of security. So another good commissioner out. Combat and Arcab. It's another rebellion. I don't know why these people who are rebelling are asking for help against the person like who's has the authority and should be in charge. I don't know what you're thinking. You are distantly related to me, so I guess that's why you'd be doing it. No. You want support? I will support people putting down rebellions. That's fine, generally. Baron Bray. No, we don't want to try to get a marriage out of it. That's fine. Just accept. So the Brays won. Rebellion failed. He paid a ton of money to the Arlanos to help out. Interesting. So Mitch Scrooge has demanded that Barry Farmer press somebody, Dercia, a distant relative of mine, claimed to rule Wazin. Okay. He said, no, you're going to break away now, aren't you? Yep. That's going to put me over my vassal limit. Duchess Jarvis wants Arcturus. Absolutely, that would cut my territory in half. What are you, stupid? You gave away all the territory you had. You had control of a bunch of stuff out here, and you gave it away. I'm not giving away Arcturus because I have colonies further down that are directly under my control. Don't be stupid. They're still bringing up that whole threat of war thing from a whole generation ago to kind of say, like, yeah, you should do that. No, absolutely not. 160 credits is not worth losing that. We say no, absolutely not. All right, somebody's attacking New Ophiuchi. So she just got attacked, and now she's doing a counterattack of herself. My people in Massam are helping out, which is interesting. Yeah, they're all helping out on the attack for taking more territory away from the Jordans. I mean, understandable. This guy like literally has gotten in trouble multiple times for doing a human experimentation on his own people. Yeah, everybody is apparently helping out. Even people in the Lynn Collective are helping out. And they win. New Ufiuchai has been conquered. It's still inside my territory, so your vassals can fight each other and stuff. Nobody has come in. You have little patience these days. Constantine Raymond is bearing the brunt of your short temper. We're struggling to cope with the demands of running the Scrooge sovereignty. So that's because our administration's got a whack and our vassals are over limit. Scrooge sovereignty is too large for us to administer directly from House Scrooge. We suspect vassals are finding ways to hide some of their income, but we do not have the time to investigate each case. We're also making unreasonable demands of your time. Ideally, our league is made up of a core of directly ruled systems in the Scrooge sovereignty, with the remainder split up into mid-sized vassal factions. Perhaps we need to grant a trusted vassal some of our systems, or perhaps we need to consolidate some smaller vassal factions into larger ones. Perhaps we just need to let a particularly troublesome vassal go. We definitely could do some consolidation. It's a bit of a problem, but we could do it. It might cause some rebellions. So I think, yeah, didn't my head of security die? Yes, so my head of security is dead. So we have to do something about that. I don't know who we've got who's going to be good at security. We didn't have anybody who was that great before anyway. Okay, just get rid of that. Nothing crazy. If the Burnetts end up eating everybody over here. Depose the Baron down there. Some disinheriting going on. Flare up of dissent. Yeah, like I wouldn't mind giving Mirzam to the Tanners. That would help us a little bit, but they broke away from the Tanners a long time ago, and I think they'd be very unhappy about that. Timothy Scrooge is up there. I think, yeah, because he's doing diplomatic work for us. We might want to get somebody as a diplomat working on the leader of the Willis territories, because she's now making demands on us. And she does border the Snyders here, which could be a bit of a problem. So we might want to prioritize that. The Lindsays. Yeah, the Lindsays like us quite a bit. Baron Snyder. No. Yeah, I'm not sure who he was. It was somebody he was helping out who's just a local baron. So I think it might have been the head of the Snyder coalition before. So we just swapped over. That's good. That's fine. We just want to make sure we're working on the Archon, whoever's in charge. That is the plan. So I think it was just a baron, so it was somebody who was no longer an Archon. So we want to make sure it's all Archons across the board. That's what we want. Okay. I would like to consolidate, but I don't know how crazy that's going to get. We do need to get rid of 2 potentially, but we also have to appoint somebody to security. So let's do that first. Who's my best security operative? Kelly Raymond is actually my best. Pretty good at 66. That's honestly not bad. Distant relative. She's one of the Raymonds just kind of showed up one day and we're like, hey, we're here. Okay. You're now head of security. Not that we're great at it, apparently. Yeah, I was kind of relying on our last person quite a bit. I am unhappy, so it's down a bit for our stats. Currently troubled, so we're not getting quite as much of a benefit. Security is my weakest stat there, unfortunately. So we could definitely buff security, but the person who's in charge there will increase in security stat over time. What's going on out here? Ride-along outbreak. Not good. Yeah, I feel like if I could get rid of the Galloways and the Joyce sector, I'd be happy. This might resolve itself. They might continue fighting. There's nothing in Alcyon, so it's just the 2 systems against 2 systems here. So, don't want to give you independence. Is it under the system? So, how do we hand off? Do I have to do it to you guys, maybe? A lot of championing. Independence. I mean, you're in my league already. It's kind of weird, like, demanding they submit to us. It's kind of strange. I can champion the Tanner Coalition's claim. That's you. So yeah, I'm kind of saying, like, you have to, like, the Tanner Coalition has a claim on you, you have to agree, or I'll go to war with you, is kind of what that's saying. We could do that. There is a valid claim there, but I thought there was a way I could just kind of hand stuff over from one to another without it being a huge problem, and they could agree or not. I guess if I directly control it, I can do that, but if they're in the league, it becomes more complicated. Yeah, I don't want to control anything else separately. Now, I could also hand off territory to people. So, like, I could give Dishaba away. It's not a great system. It's got problems. Dishaba's not as big of a deal if I was to give it away, although I really don't want it to end up being under control of the Lins. So I kind of like having this because I can lead this as... We could have this as a forward operating base for a potential invasion of the Lins if they resist joining our league long enough and we can't really do anything about it. I might have a better person I could use for my action to monitor vassals. It's administration based, I think. Technology skill, so it's technology actually. If we switch it over to somebody with more technology, maybe that would work better. So like my sister, potentially, rather than Bella. But she's my daughter and I'm giving her something to do. Yeah, the choices here are not great. I don't really want to give stuff away. So Saddle Melek here, they have a move where they want to join the Aralanos. Down here, what are my options for the Galloways? Yeah, I just have, like, grant independence. I don't have much, it seems like. Unless I have to do it through them specifically. If I talk to you directly, what are my options? Yeah, it's just grant independence is all I can really do. So, I don't think anyone has a claim on Izar, do they? Does anyone in the Arlano clan have a claim on Izar? Just out of curiosity. The Jordan colonies have a claim on the Galloway Alliance. So So we might just end up being over a bit. If we're over, what is that going to cost me? Two penalties. Gross income is reduced, and action points are reduced. Okay, it's not awful, so we do have the -2 there, it looks like. I mean, eventually it might even itself out if we can increase my own administration skill. Well, okay, we can't do that. The head of our administration, so Colton, he will eventually get better, so like that will eventually get higher in time. Same thing with my daughter who's doing the action. And then we're building something down here that'll increase, I think, as well by 1. But we could definitely try to hand Mirzam over to the Tanners. It's going to make them angry, for sure. She'll be forced to rebel if she doesn't press the claim. Let's do it. So the Tanners agree. So we've demanded. She'll be forced to rebel if she doesn't agree. She refused. She's rebelled, become an independent faction. So I think we might have enough. I can probably just attack you immediately. Yeah, I've got just enough. We can launch an attack, just out of curiosity. I should probably look fleet composition. Yeah, I can get like 180 some ships up there. It's fine. Yeah, Chill can be in charge, I think. So we are attacking. Contribute our ships. I don't have actions, so I can't actually help for other people to attack. That's a bit of a problem. Yeah, I don't even have actions to hire mercenaries, so it's a bit iffy. It is kind of a surprise attack. She probably will join. Yeah, I don't have the actions to really get people to come in. Is there anything I can do for free? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, we'll just try for like a crazy attack. Okay, she did get a decent fleet together, about the same size as us. You mostly have the big destroyers. We can take less damage from them. Minus 50% to damage taken by the bombers. No, from the bombers, I think. Right? Taken by... No, by bombers. Less combat effectiveness. Let's do... Yeah, none of these are great for our matchup. I don't have anything that really counters their bombers. I do have things that help our bombers. Let's do more damage dealt by our bombers. We'll go Overwhelming Blitz. Okay, we lost more than them. 20 ships to their 13. Not great. Still have mostly bombers. Let's go cover the bombers. Getting good rolls. Let's go point defense. Again, trying to keep the bombers in good shape. Okay, we ended up winning the fight, just all by ourselves. Despite having the weaker force, Scrooge Sovereignty defeated the fleet of the Joy Sector in Mirzam. The marketplace has been abandoned. Chill Scrooge salvaged what he could, so we do get a few ships back. We've conquered Mirzam, doesn't really help. Deposing her is kind of a problem. I'm assuming, I'll take a look, but I don't think anybody else has any kind of a claim. Yeah, it's just going to cause problems. I am going to leave her in power. And we'll give it to the Tanner Coalition. They can do whatever they want with it. I hate to do it, but it does help us out a bit. We're now only one over, so it's less of an issue. Okay, I think I've got somebody who's not even doing anything. Chill is not doing anything. I guess we pulled him off of whatever he was doing before to lead the fleet. So yeah, we've reduced that by 1, which will help. Maybe in another turn or two, our administration will be better and we'll be in good shape, or our monitoring vassals will get better. Hopefully that will be the case. I think we'll go ahead and end it there. I can't do anything else. We're just kind of ready for the next turn. We'll just kind of keep trying to deal with this whole issue of having our administration be not what we need it to be. Maybe taking out other little side factions, like I don't really have anybody who can take away the Galloways. But we'll think about it. Anyway, this has been more of Star Dynasties. I've been Disturbing Puppet. Thanks for coming by. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Until then, have a good one.